Hi, I'm Dwayne and welcome to the show. I love the look of film, but film is costly and hard to shoot. That's why when Dehancer Pro approached me to test their film emulation plugin for video editing, I said yes. It works with DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects, and of course Final Cut Pro. It has over 60 film profiles and analog effects. It simulates the whole film process from exposure to print. It makes my video look amazing with film-like aesthetics. It also saves me time and hassle in color grading. I just pick a film profile, tweak a few sliders, and I'm done. If you love film but not the trouble of shooting it, let me show you how. Okay, welcome to DaVinci Resolve, and let me show you how you can get started. So first thing first, you need to activate your license. To activate the license, just select a clip, make a new node, drag the Dehancer plugin, and then you can click on license info. You can activate your license by entering your email address, click login, and then select the license, activate, and there you go, you're done. Very easy. And then the next thing you want to do is to check new profiles, new film profiles, so they will download any updates. It's very easy. So once they are updated, just click OK. Let's restart this and take a look at this footage. So this is some shot that I did earlier. This is a portrait shot of fashion film shot. So how do I want to transform this? One thing, because I'm using Zcam with Z-Log 2, so I need to convert this to Rec 709. Zcam actually made a plugin that converts to Rec 709 from Z-Log, so it's very easy. For the rest of you, you can drag your Dehancer Pro plugin and select your camera if you are shooting log. If you find that your camera is not here, or you are not shooting any of the log profile, then you can select either Rec 709 or Rec 2020 as your source. So mine is Rec 709 because I have just converted to Rec 709 in this node, and we are starting with Rec 709. So what I'm trying to do is to recreate that film look in a very easy way without too much adjustment. So let's look at this interface here. I'll select my source, which is Rec 709. I don't have to do anything here. I prefer to do my color correction prior to the Dehancer Pro node, so I don't have to touch this. And we can select our film. For this, I want to do okay, let's do Vision 3 50D, and then I want to do film compression, which will compress the highlights like you see here. Before and after, it will compress the highlights, and then I will leave this on. And from here, I want to do Kodak 2383 because this has been traditionally the film workflow, and I will select that, and boom. And I want to have the analog range limiter because in my workflow I always leave the shadow and also push down the highlights a little bit more. So analog range limiter actually do that. And let's go next. We have the film grain. I have a mixed feeling about this because I think the default settings has a lot of film grain, which I might not like. If you don't like, you can tone it down. If you want more, you can play with the settings here. But take note that even if you slide this amount to 0, it still has film grain in the shadows, midtones and highlights. So you can adjust this up to your taste. So we will not touch halation for this clip, but I want to go to bloom, which is like your digital promise filter. If I select this, enable, and I'll have the glow at the edges here. I have some glow on the skin and some glow at the background. And let me show you again. Yep, on, off, on and off. So if I want to increase the strength, like let's say going from black promise 1/8 to 1/4, I can increase this, I can amplify this and enable, and you can see that we have an extremely dreamy look, which is something you might want or don't want, or you want to have a default look, which is here as well. So this is your digital promise filter, and you have your vignetting. If you want, you can select it. This is to your personal preference. I personally do not vignette, sometimes I do. And this is your film breadth and gate width is feature for motion films, which I will not touch in this video. And you can adjust your quality here, quality of the output, so you can have normal or you can have high quality. You can generate a lot from all the custom options that you have selected. You can have like an opacity control from 100% to 50 or 0. You can control your overall output. And then you have your false color here, but I usually use DaVinci Resolve's false color node anyway, so I will not touch this as well. And there we have it. Very easy film look. So let's move on to the next clip. This is a clip of me drinking coffee. This is shot in Z-Log 2 as well. So this will have the same workflow. Here I need to convert to Rec 709. Rec 709. And then I will go to Dehancer Pro. I'll drag this in and boom, we have our film look. So again, our source, you need to select a correct source. I will not make any adjustments here or any color corrections. I will have my Kodak Vision 3. I'll have my film compression to bring down the highlights more. I will put this in Kodak 2383 because that's how it's done traditionally. And then I will have my analog range limiter to bring up the shadows, put down the highlights. And I will leave the film grain, halation and bloom. I'll just leave it there and I'm done. This is after, before and after. This is so much easier than to have many nodes to deal with. Shadow saturation, to lift up shadows, to pull down highlights, and then to adjust the color saturation, your green saturation, blue saturation, your cyan and orange and this and that. So compared to what I've been doing for my grades, this is just clicks and sliders, so it's very easy. let's move on to the next one. Here we have a Rec 709 footage, which is very old. This was shot on my Panasonic G85 micro four third camera with no log profile. So this is standard profile, Rec 709, and we'll start with that. We'll drag this here, and this time select Rec 709, no correction over here, and we'll try some other film stocks like Kodak Gold. Okay, and then as usual we'll have film compression, and I want to print this on Kodak glossy paper. Boom. And I'll put in analog range limiter as usual. I'll leave the film grain on, halation on, and bloom on, and this is after and before, after and before. So this is like the cheap consumer film that is available, very common. And let's try other film. Let's say we have the Potra. Ooh. So before and after, you can see that the grain adds a lot of texture to the film, which is I don't know, depends on personal taste, I guess. To me, I like my photos a little bit cleaner. I don't mind a little bit of grain, and I think in YouTube the compression will not show too much grain anyway, because it has been compressed. So Kodak Potra with film compression on glossy paper, blah blah blah. Done. We are done. It's easy. So this is before, this is after, this is before. So we can transform the film look very easily. Even if you want to add a little bit more oomph to the footage, we can go and put some cyan in the shadow, put more orange in the midtone, put more yellow in the highlights, and boom, there we have it. Now let's move on to the next footage for this one. Okay, we do the same thing. We will convert this to Rec 709, and let's go Dehancer, and I want to recreate that Cinestill 800T look, which is a 35mm film, and I believe it was modified from Kodak Vision 3. So let's select Cinestill 800T. We have our film compression, yes, to bring down the highlights here. We'll have these on Kodak Endura glossy paper. We'll have your analog range limiter, yes please. We will leave the film grain on, and halation. And for Cinestill 800T, I think the red halation is like a signature look for all Cinestill 800T shots. So I want to recreate that, and I click enable, but you don't see much of the red halation. So what I did was I pull up the impact, I amplify it, and then I'll push the local diffusion all the way up, and boom, you have your red halation all over. Although I think you should maybe the film should have red halations over here as well, the highlights area, but you know, being digital, it's like that lah. And there you go, you have your Cinestill 800T. If you think that is not enough, you can make a note before and do your contrast. Okay, let's have a look. So there you have it, film look with a few clicks and a few sliders, and we have pretty good result. And of course, I think you can customize the option or the sliders a bit more to your taste, but the plugin has already done most of the work for you. And for what it is a very nice time saver. And as a solo creator, I think although it's nice to massage the footage yourself, but sometimes we just want to save time and don't want to spend too much time on editing, and we want to spend more time on shooting, and this is pretty good solution. And this is not a lot, it is algorithms and calculations and a lot of mathematics at the background. So it's not just throwing an overlay of image or filter at the footage. Alright, if you think this is useful, feel free to like and share my video, and if you are interested to try this out, I will include the address in the description, and if you enter my promotion code DF10, you will get 10% off your subscriptions or purchase. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it at the comment box below, and I'll try to help you. Thank you.